These two guys have Minnesota sports flowing in their veins. Mackey and Judd on Score North and ScoreNorth.com.
Write this down. Write it down. You like writing things down.
Write that down. I don't have a pencil. Well, remember that, Dan.
The OG edition of Write That Down. And today is a very exciting day. First of all, as always, we are the only shows, if you count Purple Daily Write That Down, that actually has the stones to put statistics next to our predictions. It's Write That Down. We'll do the accountability session. But today's accountability session, gentlemen, is a special one because it's the Declan wedding recap. He doesn't even really know what was all predicted because we made him take his headphones off before his then fiance and brother came on a few weeks ago to make predictions about the wedding and the wedding reception. And those will all come off the board on today's accountability session.
Dax, are you excited?
Yeah, I am. I am excited. I'm curious on what was made from everyone here. I have a pretty good idea, knowing my now loving wife. Some of the predictions she made about me, probably just in general, we've been to a few weddings together, and I kind of have a good hunch of what maybe one or two of those are, but I'm curious on the bulk of these from especially you two, because I don't know, because I know you guys made predictions, and I legit have no idea.
Didn't she make a few and tell you that you actually could hear them because she was so certain that they would happen? I thought there was at least one where she
might have made. I think Dex took his headphones off for all of them.
I don't think it was necessarily she heard me. I think it was more my intuition knows that she's probably going to make this prediction. I would know that she would make this prediction about X, Y, Z.
She knows you well.
She does.
So there are three that are in question still because either we didn't see it or maybe we didn't stay till the end or whatever it may be. Do you want to take a crack at guessing which three predictions your now wife made about you?
Yes.
These are just sort of like a side game here, but I'm just curious.
One was Declan's shirt will become unbuttoned as the dance floor happens. Yeah.
We'll get to the actual accountability shortly. But
Another one. Did she say something about how in like my speech I would talk about how I talk for a living or something? Are you serious? Wow. Okay.
Close enough.
Okay. And then third,
I know heard this one. I thought you actually knew. The third one I thought she actually said in front of you, and you heard.
Oh.
And she said he's so sure to do this that I
would forget something on the wedding day.
Yep. Yeah. You did hear that one, right?
Yes.
Because you're like, I will, I'm sure of it.
Yes.
And it doesn't benefit you to give her the point.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. So, wow, I was 3 for 3 there.
3 for 3. It's not going to count toward your batting average, but it's pretty impressive how well you know your wife now. So let's get to the accountability session here in a second. This is how Write That Down works, by the way. 3 predictions from everybody each week. They must be quantifiable. We keep track of batting averages and home runs. The statistical database goes back about 6 years. The game itself goes back 10 years. Listeners, if you want to participate like Marshall is about to, you can send Declan a message through the Score North app. There's a feedback tab, and that's the best place to send us emails for Feedback Friday on Purple Daily, Write That Down requests, etc. So, okay, Judd, we'll start with you.
Holy cow.
Tough year.
Not a great
tough year.
You've kind of dabbled in the golf predictions.
This is funny, actually.
More than usual. You said Scotty Scheffler would win the Open.
I'm done with golf. I'm out of the golf business, you guys. I'm closing my golf division. Much like Nike closes divisions, I'm closing my golf division.
It's because Scotty Scheffler has been red hot this year, and the 2 things you predicted he did, that's the only 2 things I feel like he didn't do, basically this year.
Because the other one you said after he won, was it the Masters, right? You said he will win another major this season.
Won a ton of tournaments, but not a major.
Yeah, there's still the FedEx playoffs, but those aren't majors. Let's see. You said Mackey and Judd will be mentioned on mic by Dex at the wedding.
I did mention you guys.
It's a technicality. Judd and I talked about it in the moment.
Oh.
You never said Mackey or Judd.
Is there a trade that we have to do a podcast for? Phil and Judd were never mentioned.
Yeah, you did not say Mackey or Judd. You were speaking to the audience. You turned in our direction and you said, is there a trade or anything that's happening? Any breaking news? Or are we good to continue the ceremony?
I swear I said Mackey and Judd. I guess I blacked out there. Oh, okay.
It's fine. Like, we're not criticizing. We're just like on the technicality of Mackey and Judd will be mentioned.
Speak for yourself. I am.
Okay.
I would have liked to have been mentioned by name. I am criticizing. I'm very upset about this.
During his reception speech, Declan will have to step away or pause because he's emotional. He had it together.
No, that was good. No.
Command of the room, dropping some jokes, immediately thanking, Kelsey's side of the family, and like you were focused on the right things.
Sometimes my sisters don't really maybe sometimes understand the gravity of what I do for a living. I think they just sometimes think I just am I'm the silly guy on a microphone talking about sports. And then both of them during our first dances are like, I never realized actually how good you are at public speaking. It's like, oh, thanks. I've only been doing it for the last 10 years. Thank you so much for acknowledging that I know how to speak.
That's hilarious.
His own family has been doubting him for all these years. Let's see here. Judd, you said Joe Mauer's Hall of Fame speech at Cooperstown will mention the following names. Paul Molitor, which he did.
Yep.
Ron Gardenhire, which he did.
Yep.
But then you said Jack Morris, Dave Winfield, Jim Thome, Justin Morneau, and Johan Santana, and I don't think...
He mentioned Molitor, Morris, and Winfield, right? I think he did.
He might have mentioned Jack.
Yeah, because he mentioned I'm
his managers.
He mentioned all the St. Paul guys. I'm pretty sure he mentioned those three, but he definitely didn't mention Johan.
No.
And I don't think he mentioned Morneau by name.
Or
Thome? He didn't mention Big G. Yeah, no. He basically thanked the guy who picked up his jock, but he didn't thank the guys that he played with.
Wow.
I thanked everybody. He thanked his agents. He thanked everybody. Which
he played for 14 years. You want him to just go up and down every single roster? You want him to thank Phil Dumatre?
Those are prominent.
Scott Diamond. It was great.
Those are prominent names right there in red that should be in green.
Sam DiDuno. It was a blast trying to see where your two-seam fastball was going to land.
Vikings hadn't started yet. I had plenty of time. I could have gone through the speech with him. Nobody called me, so it's fine.
You did, however, say Carlos Correa would go on the injured list before the end of July, and Edward Julian would return to the Twins in July. So you got those correct. All right. We'll go to old Macadac here.
Golf.
So this is probably my worst ever golf prediction. I said Rory McIlroy or Ludwig Oberg would win the Open. Both of them missed the cut by a country mile. It was bad.
Tough year for Rory. Very odd year for Rory.
I think he might be mentally up against it here now.
Yeah,
this might be a tough one.
I'm not a Rory fan.
Yeah, I don't know. I used to be. I don't know, man. The way he's kind of, I don't know. It's like he's turning heel or something.
Out. Yeah.
All right, I had a Wolves Summer League parlay here. I said the Wolves would beat the Rockets in the fourth Summer League game, which they did. But then I said Dillingham would hit at least 3 threes in that game, and Leonard Miller would knock down at least 2. Each of them came up 1 3 short. I said Dillingham would hit at least 10 3-pointers in Summer League. He hit 8. I said Judd would work his way onto the dance floor at some point during Declan's wedding reception.
I left.
We know.
I was there for the important stuff. I've done my share of dancing in my day.
You did a good job.
Thank you very much.
I wound up on the dance floor in a dance-off with one of Declan's young nephews.
Which you should.
A circle formed around us, and we were awesome. I said brother Liam would cry or get misty at some point during the wedding. Now, he started crying during his best man speech.
Yeah.
And then he turned over to me to be like, I'm not crying. It's like, you're clearly crying. You're clearly crying.
He got misty.
I would say misty, which
he got
choked up.
He recovered, but it was too late. He balked.
He did balk.
He
had a whole speech. I mean, he bailed on, I think, 80% of his speech. I'm dead serious.
He did?
Really?
Yes.
Why?
Yes. Well, I mean, if you remember, that speech was maybe 2 minutes. Tops.
It was pretty short, yeah.
Yeah, but
and
I didn't realize there was more.
A whole list of things. No, he said on the mic, I don't think I can get through all this. And then he said, I love you, and that was the end of the speech.
So he just bailed. He
bailed on the speech, so he did balk, yes.
It's like when Carlos Silva had a flawless game going after 5 innings and just took himself out at 65 pitches.
I feel I'd like to see the rest of the speech now. Like what got left out.
Can we read it on the show? Would he send it in?
He could come on and give it.
Yeah.
I just want to know, are there stories? Are there some good anecdotes, which I love.
Or do you think he was about to clown you for like 10 minutes and then decided, you know what? I love Declan.
I'm sure there was some clowning involved, but yeah.
So, Brother Liam, if you could submit the transcript, we would love to read it on the show. Jesse Edwards will grab at least 10 rebounds in a summer league game. He did. He grabbed 10 in that game against the Rockets. And then I said Leonard Miller would lead the Wolves summer league team in either points per game or rebounds per game. I think he actually led them in both categories. Oh, Lenny.
A record right there for summer league predictions.
Yeah, I kind of went bonkers there.
Wow.
So, okay, listeners, which is mostly Brother Liam and at the time fiance Kelsey. We'll start with Stuart here. And Stuart, so he did self-report this honorably, because I had it written down in the files as the following Vikings players will have new contracts by week 2: Justin Jefferson, Christian Darrisaw, Daniil Hunter, and Kirk Cousins. But which happened. But he emailed it and said he meant with the Vikings, and he even sent me like, this is what I had in my notes. It was the intent was that they would all re-sign with the Vikings. So he is self-reporting that he's incorrect.
What integrity.
Yep. Okay, now we get to some of the wedding ones here. Brother Liam said at least one nephew will end up with his shirt off on the dance floor. I saw that. Just tarps off.
Yeah, I think that was 2.
That was quick.
Yeah.
Really?
Their tarps were off like before the reception even started.
Yeah.
It was like, boom, you guys got married and the kids are just taking their shirts off.
You got little kids in monkey suits, as my dad calls them, with tuxedos. Like they don't want to be in that for much longer. So Arnie, if you want to change into your Spider-Man outfit by 30 minutes after the show, go ahead, dude. Go ahead. All good.
My sources said that mom actually said if you wear these the second the service is done, that you can change.
Yes, that is true. Your sources are correct.
Because I was let's just say I was trying to inside a bit to have the scoop at the wedding.
Judd, if you would have been allowed as an adult to put gym shorts on after you would have stayed longer.
If Dawn had been like, you know what, you wear the black tie, and then you can change into gym shorts
or a Spider-Man outfit.
Or a Spider-Man.
No. A Spider-Man outfit.
Judd drinking an IPA at the reception bar.
No, I need loose. I want loose.
Then fiance Kelsey said on wedding day, Declan will forget something important, like the rings, part of a suit, a shoe. We're told you forgot socks.
Black socks.
Yep.
Got dress socks.
And then she also said Declan will tie in a sports reference or a reference about his job during his reception speech. I think asking if there's breaking news happening is definitely qualifying.
That was it.
And then there's 3 that we need some clarification on here, starting with fiance Kelsey saying before the end of the night, Declan will have at least 3 buttons undone on his dress shirt.
Okay. So I did undo the bow tie, and I was hanging it loose. I know there's one photo of me towards the end of the night with a buddy of mine. I don't think this happened, shockingly.
I don't think this can come off the board until we run it past Kelsey, though.
Yeah,
because she could protest this.
I'm taking it off the board for now, just for accounting purposes.
But you can file a protest, Kelsey.
If there's proof that it happened, then we will take it into consideration. And then Brother Liam said Declan will stain his white dinner coat because you switched into the white coat for dinner.
No stains. No stains. I was good. I did get some. I touched something like dirty though, like 20 minutes ago, and I got on my shirt. So and I'm wearing a white hoodie today, so that's classic. But no, the white dinner coat was shockingly fine.
Okay.
No spills.
And then finally, Brother Liam says Declan will knock over a drink at some point during the wedding.
Again, I know this is shocking because I think the money line would have been minus money on both these predictions. But no, I did not spill a drink.
Interesting. Okay.
Wow.
If any of Declan's family members or friends or wedding party members can confirm that he's lying right now,
file a protest.
Can you guys kind of here's what I'll do here. Full screen here. That's one button.
It's 2. It's 2 buttons because it's the top. It's the top.
Yeah, it's 2.
You're right.
It's 2.
It's only.
Okay.
It's if you could put the camera on me for a second here.
Yep.
It is no good. We're gonna say no good on that prediction.
Yeah, it's 2 buttons.
2 buttons.
So okay, and then Declan, you had 2 predictions.
Oh yeah.
from this last week. You said the Timberwolves would. Well, it's funny. You made this prediction poolside at Caesars after they were basically mathematically eliminated.
Yes.
The Wolves will play in the Summer League Championship.
Yeah.
They had like a 1% chance with tiebreakers and stuff. And then you said, Judd will ask me at my wedding who so-and-so is regarding at least 2 different people. I was around you and Judd. I did not hear him.
Nope.
I barely talked to you.
Yeah, we did the
talked to you, like,
selfie
once.
video.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was kind of it. I mean, and on your wedding day, you're going all over the place. So, no,
Yeah.
you're good. Yeah,
No.
You're good.
So with that, and the listeners are updated here, but I'm batting 419. Listeners are batting actually 361. Declan 338. Judd 315. Listeners have 8 home runs on the season, which leads everyone. I have 7. Declan and Judd each have 5. Career stats: Declan leads with a 358 batting average. Judd leads with 331 career hits. Listeners lead with 63 career home runs. Okay. And with that, he's been patiently waiting. Let's get guest listener predictor Marshall, his bucket hat, his Jay Jettas customized shirt. What's going on, man?
Going good, living life and vacation out here in San Francisco right now and enjoying the lovely weather.
Nice.
Wow. What are we doing out in San Francisco? Are we doing any wine tastings? What are we doing out there?
No wine tasting, just sightseeing. We did horseback riding, do some scuba diving, just some nature stuff too. So
Love it, man. One of my, so I have family out in like San Francisco, Santa Rosa, and one of my favorite places in the country is Bodega Bay, up like 45 minutes, coastline, hiking, the ocean. It's amazing. If you guys get a chance, or if anyone does, Bodega Bay. So Marshall, you've been on before, but refresh us. What's your background as a Minnesota sports fan, man?
Diehard Minnesota fan. Been disappointed most of my life. Other than that, though, still going strong, still rooting them on, and backing any team that's from Minnesota at the end of the day. So
yeah. Where'd you get that shirt?
My buddy actually got this from I think just Facebook or something, but it's only a limited number that are like specially custom. So this is 500 made, and I got one of them, which is pretty nice because, I haven't seen anything like it.
That's cool, man. And kudos, you can pull off the bucket hat, which is an easy thing. Which is not an easy thing. So nicely done.
I feel like Judd could pull off the bucket hat. Declan looks like a bucket hat guy for sure.
Not that bucket hat. No, not that one. I could pull off the one to protect your face from the sun a little bit, probably. But that's a special look. I don't think I could do that one.
Yeah, Marshall's rocking it right now.
That's sort of a rock star bucket hat look.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the T-Wolves one that they handed out for a game. Nice. So
nice.
Yeah.
The fishing
Write
theme.
this down.
So okay, Marshall, we'll start with you, and then over to Judd, Declan, and back to me. You're first up.
Write this
What's
down.
your first prediction?
All right, write this down. I will be diving into the basketball atmosphere and Minnesota. Ant will finish top 3 in MVP votes next season.
Ooh.
And Jaden McDaniels will average 15 points or more for the first time in his career for the season. Then here's the last leg of the parlay. Either TSJ or Dillingham will finish top 3 in Rookie of the Year votes.
Dude. Okay, if those things happen, if Anthony Edwards...
here we go.
If Anthony Edwards takes that leap,
Here we go.
if Jaden McDaniels becomes the third scorer, and if a rookie is in the mix for Rookie of the Year, I don't know, man. Get the flag ready. That's all I got to say.
No, I'm not going to say it.
Just get that flag ready.
Got to keep that up in the playoffs, though, too. I mean, that's...
Well, dude, Anthony Edwards elevates in the playoffs.
Season. Right, I know, but then the other 2 guys would have to come along for the ride as well.
Okay.
I'm just...
Can't you just let us have this?
I'm putting a little cold water.
Let us have this.
Water on it.
Write this down.
Cut
A
his
little
mic.
cold water. Well, I want to help Marshall avoid the crestfallen feeling that occurs when
Marshall is sitting in a
like
custom Justin Jefferson shirt with a
Doesn't
bucket
matter.
hat in
He's trying
sunny
to look,
San Francisco.
He's
fine.
scarred. He's trying to look strong, but he's been scarred by Minnesota sports. I've seen this before.
Fair.
I'm a sports therapist.
Write this
Damn it.
down.
All right, what's your first prediction, sports therapist?
All right, my first prediction, Twins and trade deadline related, is that the Twins will make a trade involving at least one big league player before next Tuesday.
Okay.
It might not be big, but I feel like we might get a reliever type of trade, something on Monday, Sunday, Monday. At the end of the day, I don't think the Twins are going to make a move that's going to be like, oh my God, what a move. But I do think they're going to add some depth. And so I'm going to go with before next Tuesday, they'll pluck somebody.
Okay.
Write it down. You like writing things down.
The Dexter, old Decky.
All right, I have 3 Twins-related predictions as well. I loathe that has now come on this show. I'm not a big fan of that. Anywho, write this down. The Twins will move on from a player who is currently on their 26 or 40-man roster by August 1st, excuse me. I'm going to extend this out because there might be some transactional things that have to happen to clear. So when I mean guys in the 26 and 40-man, I also am accounting for guys who are currently on the injured list. So like Kyle Farmer right now is technically on the injured list.
Yeah.
So one guy, at least one player who is on their 26 or 40-man roster, including big league injured lists, the Twins will move on from them by August 1st.
So like if which they won't do this, but if they trade Walker Jenkins, he isn't on the 40-man yet because he's still young enough. Mm-hmm. But if they were to trade, Alex Kirilloff or something, or throw Miranda or whatever, right?
Or if they like threw in, again, if I don't know if this can happen even, but like if they moved on from Vasquez to try to clear some salary, but also like attaching a prospect and whatnot, like trying to exit out some money, Vasquez would obviously count. Farmer would count. DeSclafani, I don't know if they can figure out a way to clear that money. That will count. I think they're going to clear out some money because clearly they have no capital to add.
We'll talk about that more in depth on today's Score North Twin Show, by the way. There's a Jeff Passan report that came out that's mildly annoying.
Write it down. You like writing things down.
Okay, write this down. Anthony Edwards will lead Team USA in scoring in at least one Olympic game. So like LeBron James has kind of taken over as an alpha now, and like Steph Curry. But in at least one of their Olympic games, not these exhibition games, Anthony Edwards will lead Team USA in scoring in at least one game.
Write it down. You like writing things down.
Write it down. Okay, back to Marshall.
All righty. I'm going to baseball on this next prediction. It's another parlay. Twins will win the division. They will also advance past the first round again this year. Mm-hmm. And then either Austin Martin or Brooks Lee or Edward Julian will hit a go-ahead hit, home run, game-winning, who knows, just to win a game in the playoffs.
Okay. So when we say go-ahead, could it just be anytime? Like if their hit is the go-ahead hit that puts them in front anytime? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I like it.
Write it down. You like writing things down.
Okay, Judd.
More trade deadline prognostication. The White Sox will trade Garrett Crochet, Tommy Pham, and Luis Robert Jr. by the deadline next Tuesday. So Crochet, Pham, and Robert Jr. will be traded by the deadline next Tuesday. I don't know where, and they might be in separate deals. They all might be the same one. Don't care. They're just going to unload all 3 of those. Pham's not surprising. Crochet and Robert is literally just begging to break the 62 Mets futility record.
Yeah, what is that? So they're 27 and 76, right?
Yeah, I think
so 26% win percentage.
I think Royce tweeted the 62 Mets at this point at 26 wins.
And was that a 162 game schedule, or was that still the 150? So that was 162.
They went to 162 in 1961.
And what did they finish with?
Like 42 wins.
So the White Sox are pacing for 42 wins right now. They've been outscored by 193 runs through the first almost 4 months of the season.
Yep.
Nice work there, White Sox.
Write it down. You like writing things down.
The Whiteys. Okay. The Dexter.
Okay, for Chicago. Write this down. Gabriel Gonzalez will be traded at the deadline by the Twins. So Gabriel Gonzalez was the prospect they received in the Polanco trade, and he will be moved at the deadline. This is someone that they didn't draft, develop. They got him in the trade. Justin Topa, by the way, is on a rehab assignment in Fort Myers, so
he's got a locker now.
He's had a locker.
Oh, okay.
He's had a locker. All year. Yeah, he's had a locker all year.
Very excited.
But he hasn't thrown a pitch yet. So with the Twins, that is.
Yeah.
So Gabriel Gonzalez will be traded at this year's trade deadline. Write it down.
Okay, write this down.
Write it down. You like writing things down.
I would love to see the Twins get like a bona fide playoff rotation starter. I think Nathan Eovaldi is the one that Declan and I keep pounding the table for. But they're going to hedge. So I will say this is kind of a parlay, I guess. The Twins will trade for a pitcher by the deadline, but that pitcher will not make a start in a postseason game. So there's a couple different ways I could win. It could either be like a depth starter that they would just go get like a number 5 starter so that Louis Varland isn't thrust into the rotation. Okay. It gives Chris Paddock a break. Or it could just be a reliever that they trade for and they still try to patchwork the rotation. But they will make a trade for a pitcher. Or maybe I should phrase it this way. They will make a trade for a pitcher, at least a trade for a pitcher, but none of the pitchers that they trade for, if it's multiple, will start a playoff game. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, I could win this on a technicality. If they trade for one pitcher that doesn't and one pitcher that does, I could claim that I was right.
Write it down.
Not looking for loopholes. Things down. Okay, back over to Marshall for your third prediction.
All right. Third one will come from my cousin Shane. He was just shooting me some random ideas, and little does he know I'm going to actually use one of these, write that down on the show. So write this down. Jordan Love. He resides. So, yeah, he's from Wisconsin. He lives in, the other side and whatever. And as a Minnesota fan, it's tough. So he's kind of putting some hate on Green Bay. Jordan Love will have a QBR lower than 90% next season, and they will throw for 15 or more interceptions.
Oh, wow. So Jordan Love, QBR of under 90 and at least 15 interceptions.
Yep.
Okay.
With a massive contract.
Is that done yet, or are we still? Is he still sitting out?
No, he's still out, but I mean, it's going to get done.
It's like the most amicable hold-in in NFL history, where all parties are like, "Yep, this is totally fine."
I'm not so sure it's not a mutually agreed on. Where the Packers are like, "Okay, that's fine. We want the security as well, so let's get this done."
Yeah. So he's just chilling. I mean, but they're going to have to make him one of the highest paid, if not the highest paid quarterbacks off like an 8-game sample size.
There remains a discussion, and we've been talking about this back to the 1500 days. The quarterback market is psycho. It's out of control. Somebody needs to get this back.
And there's really you can't go to him and say, "Listen, man, you only really did it for 8 or 9 games, so we're not going to give you $55 million.
Right.
How about like 38? He's not saying yes to that.
Correct.
It's a black and white market.
And Dak is next.
But at least with Dak, okay, he's been a high-end regular season quarterback for 6 years.
But you just said it, regular season quarterback. Like if I'm going to invest what Dak's going to get, I want playoff success.
If you had to right now, if you had to give Dak or Jordan Love $55 million a year, like he's the new highest paid quarterback.
Jordan Love.
Really?
Because I don't know. He could be really, really good in the playoffs. The regular season thing is weird. It's like the Kirk defenders. Look at Kirk's stats. Okay, that's great. What's the playoff track record? That Giants game, eminently winnable. Eminently winnable.
Yeah, I don't totally disagree with you. It's just it's so much
tougher.
It's so much projection. It's and this is you can praise the Packers all you want for look at how they do it. They patiently sit their quarterbacks behind another guy for 3 years. Yeah, but then the next year after they start for the first time, now you have to pay them top of the market. You don't get the benefit of the rookie scale contract. That might be part of the reason why the Packers only have 2 Super Bowls in 30 years with 2 incredible quarterbacks, and Jordan Love might be a franchise guy too.
Exactly.
So, anywho, Marshall, great stuff.
Sorry.
Enjoying your vacation. A little side tangent there. Since you've got this platform here, is there anyone in your life you'd like to thank that helped you get to this pinnacle life moment again?
Yeah, I'd like to thank my mom, dad, family, friends, all that, my lovely girlfriend, and for accompanying me on this lovely road trip and, tolerating me, number one. And, so thank you all for all you do. Really appreciate it. Love y'all. And thanks for the opportunity again.
Thank you, Marshall.
Thanks, Marshall.
Enjoy your trip, man. We'll see you again sometime.
Bye.
Thank you.
There he is. Guest listener.
Tolerating
predictor.
me. That
We
is
are all
very relatable.
tolerated.
Yep.
We are all tolerated. There's not one person on the screen right now who is not tolerated.
Tolerating me.
Yeah, it's not like, I'm lucky to have Judd. It's like, I'll tolerate him.
I'm tolerating Judd until The Rock comes along and takes his shirt off, or somebody. Okay, before we get to the final predictions here, speaking of toleration, Finch Home Solutions tolerates us idiots that don't know how to change a light bulb, or sometimes it's more complicated things in your house. Finch Home Solutions has us covered here. Boys.
Yep, and look at those. If you're watching this right now on YouTube, look at those vans. They're going out, and you know what they're going out to do? They're going out to help people, because Cody Finch and his team, they have a list of things, and it's a laundry list of things, big and small, that they can fix, that they can install. Electrical needs, Finch Home Solutions are the people to consult. Car chargers, panel replacement, lighting, electrical repairs, and much, much more. Again, big or small, right now offering $250 off on electrical panel, which of course can get dicey, but it's really, really important to your safety. Purple Daily customers get free dispatch fees with purchase repairs. 612-357-2604 or finchhomesolutions.com. finchhomesolutions.com. Make sure that you tell them that the guys from Score North told you that they're the best in the business.
And also, we are holding a fun event next Tuesday. We hope it will be a fun event anyways. The Twins can make it even more fun. It's a Score North Twin Show trade deadline watch party. And then also the Twins are playing the Mets on that night. So Tuesday, July 30th, 4 p.m., Park Tavern. We're going to be hanging out, watching the trade deadline come down. And if a move has been made already, maybe in the days or hours beforehand, we're going to be there to kick it around, drink a couple drinks, cheers with you guys, listeners, and talk Twins and other things too. If you're a Purple Daily listener, Flagrant Howls, it's a hangout, man. So Score North Twin Show trade deadline watch party, 4 p.m. Park Tavern next Tuesday, 5 p.m. trade deadline, 6 p.m. Twins Mets. We have some fun giveaways, and it is the official sports bar of the sports dad, Judd Zolgat.
Yes, and I sent an invite to join us to Mr. Baseball last night, Patrick Royce.
Oh, really? Okay.
Well, trade deadline. I mean, the guy's seen a few of those, so hopefully Patrick attends as well. 11th frame in the back, right by the patio as well. So hopefully it's a nice night and we can mingle inside and outside.
Love it.
Write this down.
Okay, final predictions here, Judd.
All right, my final, write that down for this week. I'm going to go to the world of hockey. Guys might have seen Dean Evison got a job.
Oh, hell.
Columbus Blue Jackets job came open late, and it's been announced that Dean is going to be the coach. And Dean specifically was asked about the openers against the Wild. Dino, are you going to downplay it? He's like, anyone who says that they downplay that is lying. No, it's important to me. They fired me. So write this down. The Blue Jackets and new coach Dean Evison will beat the Wild in the opener October 10th. So the Blue Jackets are going to come in, and they're certainly not great. I think they're going to be improved, but Dean's going to rally the troops, and it's a regular season game where Dean's great. It's the playoffs where he struggles. So.
Is his team going to care enough about him in the first part of the season? I could see if it was like win one for Dino, but they're only going to know him for like 2 months.
He'll rally the troops. Rally the troops. They'll come in. It's hockey. You're in the room with the guys all training camp. Yeah, I think they will care. And again, in the regular season, Dino's great.
I know they have to wear the button-up suits on the bench, but Dino's got those tattoos. When I saw him at the Pearl Jam concert at the X this time last year, I mean, the dude is inked up and also could kick your ass.
Yes.
Could absolutely kick your ass.
Yeah, he is in fantastic shape. He is probably, if not washboards, he probably is very close to washboard abs. Yeah,
it's always funny, like you see Rocco Baldelli in his little baseball uniform with the socks pulled up.
Oh, and he hates a true uniform. Like Rocco never wears the jersey. Hates it.
A lot of managers know. I'm saying, like, what if we put hockey coaches in breezers and full hockey uniforms, just standing up behind the bench?
Well, do they need to wear suits? Because, pandemic times, I think they loosened that up. They certainly did for NBA, and NBA coaches now don't wear suits.
It's a little too casual.
So could we bring? And Torts wears like a pullover. He doesn't wear a suit now, but I mean, most of them still wear suits. I think Dino should go with something more casual.
Motzko loves the sweater vest. He did that in St. Cloud. Bob Motzko loves a sweater vest. No one rocks a sweater vest harder than Bob Motzko.
Phil,
write this down.
Declan tweeted out maybe the greatest Rocco picture of all time.
Is it the one from his office a couple days ago?
Where he's smiling.
It's just the thumb. It's the thumbnail on the video. And this is literally the picture.
It's Rocco.
I tweeted that last night. I tweeted, this is like a sitcom.
It is.
Hey, what happens when a Grateful Dead fan takes over a baseball team that's cutting payroll? It's Rocco.
Write this down.
That's great, man. Was he posing specifically for you to take a picture?
I don't know. I'm usually like the last. I mean, my tripod's as big as the one that's in front of me. It's just a little stand guy, so it's like the last thing I put on the table before the TV guys, all barge their way in there. And I guess he just saw it, and as I hit record, he was just dead red right on the lens of the camera. Pretty funny.
That's great. Love me some Rocco. Okay, Declan, your final prediction.
Write this
All
down.
right, write this down. I don't believe I've made this prediction. I'm making another trade deadline one, but the Twins will acquire a pitcher who has made at least 100 starts or has 100 appearances in the big leagues. One or the other. Doesn't matter which one. But the Twins will acquire a pitcher who has made at least 100 career starts or has 100 appearances to his name.
Okay. Write this down.
Write this down.
Final prediction. So Judd's out on golf predictions. I'm even more in after my embarrassing performance with the two guys who missed the cut by. I'm back with a vengeance.
Okay.
So for Tiger Woods kind of got me into golf in the mid 90s, and I was following him as a kid leading up to that Masters in 97. So he's always been my favorite golfer to watch, but now it's like it's pointless because he's just going to be 10 over par in round 2. It's just time to be done. So, and I don't know, Rory for a while, but I'm kind of with Dex. I don't know, the Rory vibes are weird. Ricky Fowler was fun for a while. He had a little resurgence last year. So I'm kind of looking for a new golfer to latch onto. And about 2 or 3 years ago, I heard Billy Horschel on a couple podcasts.
Oh, yeah.
So, and he's a man of the people, man. Like he's very high strung and he has a temper, but he's competitive. He's like a real athlete in a golfer's avatar, I guess. And I don't know if you remember this, but a little over a year ago, he shot like 84 at the Memorial, round 1. Worst round of his professional life. And he went up to the podium and took questions like a champ. And the first question was, Billy, I know you're working on some things. What happened? And he broke down and started crying. And he was like there to address it. And it's like, yeah, man, this is the least confident I've ever been as a golfer. And you fast forward now, in the last year, he's won a tournament. He's up to 33rd in the world rankings. He finished tied for second at the Open. And he put a photo out from the driving range at the 3M Open on Tuesday morning this week saying, I'm here grinding like always at 7:30 a.m. He was the only one on the range, fresh off a trip from Scotland to Minneapolis.
Yeah.
I think Billy Horschel's my new guy. So I'm going to predict this with my heart. Billy Horschel will win the 3M Open this week, his second victory on tour of the season.
Wow.
Let's get it.
All right.
Billy Horschel.
Billy.
Yeah, my guy, Billy.
Write this down.
If he wins, I wonder if we could get him on. We could probably get him on. Well, they're starting tomorrow, so we probably should put that request in before Wednesday, the 3M Open. But anyways, those are your write that down predictions.
Hey, we're gonna talk. Next up, we're gonna talk to Billy
Horschel.
Horschel. No, we're not.
I didn't feel it in my soul until today, unfortunately.
Maybe we can get him on. Nah, it's too late.
Probably is. He's probably getting ready. So, all right, boys, that's a wrap. Write that down. The OG edition here, the Purple Daily edition, you can find as well. And we got Judd's camp notes on Purple Daily, Flagrant Howls, Judd's Hockey Show, Royce Unchained, the Score North Twin Show, all sorts of fun things on Score North.